They said you wanted to see me, Coach?
Yeah, man. Step on up into my office. It's HomeSpun Sports with Coach John Montgomery. Sports talk with a twist of down-home wisdom. Welcome. We're so glad you're here. You've tuned in to HomeSpun Sports. It's sports talk with a twist of down-home wisdom. I am your host, the coach, John Montgomery. I'm right here in good old H-Town, Houston, Texas, with my partner in crime, my show enough ride or die, my baby boy, way up in Oklahoma City. What's up, Sam?
I can't call it, Coach. It's cold, but how you doing?
There you go, brother. There you go. Yeah, man. I'm good to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get into the show, we do realize we made a mistake on our last episode. Coach?
Well, we always want to keep it one high, and we always want to stay on top of our game. And in an effort to always keep it 6 o'clock straight up and down, we have an amendment to last week's show. We said that the maniac, Darius Leonard, was the highest drafted player in the NFL draft, and that's not correct. And so we want to correct that at this time and give props to Titus Howard, who was taken in the NFL draft with the 23rd pick in the first round. Alabama State University's own Titus Howard.
Shout out to the Hornets.
And now on with the show. Ladies and gentlemen, our very special guest for show number 21 is a first-class man that I came to first know of in 1994. As a player at the University of North Alabama, he was a 4-year starter and a 3-time All-American. How good a player was this guy? He made All-American in 1995 and 96 as a defensive end, and then made All-American in 1997 as a linebacker. 3-time All-American in 2 different positions. He assisted the great Bobby Wallace. He played back-to-back national championships for the great Bobby Wallace at UNA, University of North Alabama. He's a member of the University of North Alabama Golden Lions Hall of Fame. And then as a coach, in his 10 years as the head football coach of Miles College in Fairfield, Alabama, our special guest won 4 SIAC crowns and took the Miles College Golden Bears to 2 NCAA playoff berths. He is currently the head football coach and athletic director at Tuskegee University. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome my good and dear friend, Coach Reginald Ruffin. Man.
Boy.
Coach,
what's up, Coach?
Coach and Slim, man, I couldn't have asked for a better hype man. Putting it out.
It ain't hype, my brother. You did all that.
That's all facts, Coach.
And let me say this to you, man. Let me say, what a privilege and a pleasure it has been for me. Like I said, I first came to know of you in 1994, and I'm going to get to that. But to watch you transition from a great player at North Alabama to go on now and be a highly successful head football coach. Reggie, a lot of guys can't do that. Michael Jordan tried it. He couldn't coach. Larry Bird tried it. He couldn't coach. Bart Starr of Green Bay Packer fame tried it. He couldn't coach. It ain't easy. We talked about that with Doug Williams when we had Doug on our show. It ain't easy to go from great player to great coach, and you've mastered that, Reggie. Rex, I got to tell this, but before we start, I got to tell this. I'll tell you something I bet you don't know. So it's 1994, Slim, and I'm the offensive coordinator at Alabama A&M. And our head football coach, you saw the movie We Are Marshall, right, Reg?
Yep.
We Are Marshall. The quarterback at Marshall, Reggie Oliver.
Yep.
Reggie Oliver is now in 1994 the head football coach at Alabama A&M, and I'm his offensive coordinator. And Reggie came to me one day and said, John, man, the alumni want to renew the rivalry, Alabama A&M and UNA. And so, man, look here, man, I want you to look at some tapes, man, and get a feel for UNA and let me know what you think. So, I said, okay, he the boss. So I got to looking at some film, man. And man, I looked at that film and phew, like a bolt of white heat, man, number 58, knocking the living hell out of people. I'm like, whoa. So I'm looking on the roster, number 58, Reginald Ruffin, Butler, Alabama. I said, me? This is 1994. This kid's a freshman? Oh, man. And I'm talking about Slim. I'm talking about another futhers. You know what another father is, right?
Another, yeah, like when you hit him, he don't go another further. Coach.
He don't go another father. And I'm telling you, this guy, Slim, is knocking the living hell out of people. Slim, helmets popping off, rolling down the field. And I'm looking at this film, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is 94. This kid's just a freshman. And now, here, understand something. I coached at Alabama A&M twice. I was there, Reggie, 78, 79, and 80, and we had a great rivalry with UNA. Ray Green, our head coach, then whipped Wayne Grubb, then the head coach. We whipped their ass twice. Home and away. And both times, UNA was nationally ranked when we beat them. And so the alum want to renew the rivalry. Well, a couple of days later, after some intense study, Reggie comes up to me. So hey, Montgomery, what you think, man? I said, Reg, leave them alone. I said, Reg, I'm gonna tell you something, partner. I'm scared as a possum is an axe handle of UNA. We don't want nothing to do with them, Reg. I said, Reg, look at this boy right here, man. He said, what you talking about, Montgomery? I said, look at this. I said, boy, number 58 right here. You see him? Reg looked at that film. I said, he's just a freshman in this film, Reg. Reg said, oh, man, no. So that was the end of the UNA talk. That squelched all that.
Wow, Coach.
Reg, man, congratulations, man, on your new appointment, man. Reg, I'm going to tell you something, man. Somewhere up in heaven, Dr. John W. Montgomery, Slim, your pawpaw got a grin on his face this wide called my daddy loved him some Tuskegee. Can I tell you?
Yes, sir.
Coach Ruffin.
Reg, my sister, Dr. Mildred Randolph, is also got her DVM from Tuskegee. But Reg, all that you amassed at Miles College, why take that job?
Well, first off, John, when you think about the lay of the land with this transfer portal that's going around, it's not going to change. And, I'm one of those visionaries, without a vision, people will perish. And so I seen the vision that I'm going to a place where there's a brand, Tuskegee University, where I got my first start as a collegiate assistant coach under Rick Comergy.
Okay.
And that place was so good to my family, my wife at the time, we just loved Tuskegee. Our son was born there and raised there. And to have that opportunity to work for Willie Slater, one of the greatest coaches all time, second winningest coach in Tuskegee history. Coach Slater gave me all the tools I needed to do what I needed to do at Miles College. And so when he was stepping down and not going to be the coach anymore, when you're wanted and when people remember the good time that we had, I was there for 6 years and we won 5 conference championships as defensive coordinator. 6 of those years, 6 out of those years, 5 out of the 6 years I was there. And so people still remember. And then, I take this opportunity to go to Miles, and we start doing the same thing that we were doing at Tuskegee.
Okay.
And so when Tuskegee alums all around the country, all around the world started to kind of tweet and say, hey, get Coach Ruffin, we need to get him back, an opportunity, and when you're wanted to go back to a place, Booker T. Washington, George Washington Carver, man, the Tuskegee Airmen, man, Dr. John Montgomery, just a lot of people that goes to TU, and the band playing Let's Go, and the kids the students are in the stands at a 1 o'clock game, 9 o'clock in the morning. They already packed and no more seats, and just remember all the atmosphere. Man, I'm just so excited to get them back to where they used to be. Winning this HBCU program. I think they stuck John and Slim on 699. They tried to get 700 wins this season. I think they fell short, so they still stuck at 699. So they trying to get that 700 win, man. So they got a lot of pressure. So that's what I wanted, to go back and to where it all started and give back.
You mentioned that Tuskegee being a national brand, Coach, a national brand, like known all over the country. What are your plans to get Tuskegee back and to rally that fan base?
Well, the biggest thing is, Slim, I'm glad that was a great question. The biggest thing is, Slim, is transparency. To being transparent with our alum, being transparent with our fans, and just to let them know that we're going to do things, because at Tuskegee, we educate, we dominate, we graduate. That's
Say that again, Red. Say that again.
Whoa.
I like that.
One more time.
That.
We educate, we dominate, and we graduate.
Go ahead.
When you have that marketed,
I like it. I like it.
Having one of the top brands when it comes to academic University of Higher Learning, man, you get no better than Tuskegee University. You get the best of both worlds. And so to give the fans what they want is, we're going to get the best and brightest student athletes to start to come back and do the things that it takes for us to be successful in all sports, Slim. As the AD, I'm talking about all sports, Slim. When I walk those halls and I'm walking those courts, I'm cheering everybody on. I'm getting everybody, to understand that this is Tuskegee University, and it's a standard, Slim, Coach Montgomery. It's the standard.
Okay.
It's expected for us to be great, both in the classroom and both on the fields and playing courts.
Yeah.
Reg, and man, listen, man, you bowling right down my alley. That mindset of understand it don't make no difference when you step on the field. You play in Tuskegee, because the standard of excellence. If we play like we play when we play, ain't nobody gonna beat the red and gold.
Nope.
Ain't nobody gonna beat. Man, let me tell you, I go back, Reggie. I've been going to Tuskegee to the veterinary symposium. I never will forget it. Since I was a kid in grade school, I never will forget this. I'm in a little country, Poto, Oklahoma, LaFleur County. And Reggie, John and Doris Montgomery took me and my sister, Mildred, to Tuskegee's graduation when I was in the 6th grade to hear Dr. King give the commencement address.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, Tuskegee deep in my blood, bro.
Yeah, man, it's just so awesome, man, to get there, and that campus, man, that beautiful campus, to walk it, John, and then all the movements with the Tuskegee Airmen, the history of Tuskegee, man. My grandfather is a graduate of Tuskegee Institute, John. Wow. He built his house because, Tuskegee was built off the backs of slaves, man. And so my grandfather, him learning all the arts and crafts on being, an architect and building his house, man, it just makes me so amazing that, God rest his soul, that my grandfather, Tuskegee Institute, man, graduate. And Tuskegee is in my family, man. I just happen to coach there, but it's in my blood.
Man, let me tell you something, Reg. You got an impressive facility when you get them on campus. What's the name of Booker T. Washington's house?
The Oaks.
What now?
The Oaks.
The Oaks. The Oaks. That's a landmark on that campus. and we're talking Keenan Ivory Waynes, a graduate.
Yes, sir.
Tom Joyner, a graduate. A lot of people don't know the Commodores were founded on that campus.
I did not know that one though.
How that got started right there at Tuskegee. And of course, the great Lionel Richie. Rich, them guys, you reaching out to them, they helping you with your recruiting budget, I know, right?
Hey, they need to, and you know, Coach, you always learn that when you get somewhere, they always tell you it's a list that you can talk to, and it's a list you can't talk to. So I ain't been able to talk to that list, but I'm trying to get over that to that big list of Tom.
Okay. And Ricky Smiley took over for Tom Joyner, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, and both of those guys are Tuskegee grads too, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. You know, Reggie, you win with players. At the end of the day, you win with players, and you guys at Tuskegee have a national name. A national name. A lot of people don't know this, Slim. Tuskegee School of Veterinary Medicine graduate. It's the only HBCU in America that has a school of veterinary medicine, and 70% of the African American veterinarians in this country, Tuskegee graduates. And but how, Reggie, is your plan? Tell us to recruit nationally, because you got a school with a national name.
So, Coach, you know, when you answer that question, if I'm recruiting Slim to come to Tuskegee University,
okay,
I'm going to tell Slim, do you know what they call a Tuskegee man or woman?
What do they call it?
They call them boss.
Amen.
Boss. And you come in here to be a boss. You come in here to run a Fortune 500, to be the best architect, be the best veterinary medicine doctor, be the best engineer, mechanical, aerospace, chemical. You name it. You know, you come in here, when you talk about leaving college, you coming in making $70,000 to $80,000 fresh out of college.
Come on now.
Now, Coach, you know, what better way to be at an institution, Coach, than you're going to get that degree, that paper, Coach, and come in here to compete at the best institution of all the land, of the scale. Tuskegee University is #1. And then you're going to get that degree. You're going to come in and play and win. You're going to go off and be a better man, better woman, better to society, making a difference. Because it's Tuskegee University, because it's the standard. It's the
standard. Well, my brother, let me say this to you again. Congratulations on your new appointment. And Reggie, like I said, man, I followed you since 1994. And I don't have any doubt that you are going to take Tuskegee to the next level. You will have one of the top football programs in Division II. I know you're going to get them to the playoffs. I do know this, my brother, that way up there in them cheap seats, cheering and clapping, is Dr. John Montgomery.
Yes, sir.
Doris Montgomery.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Mildred Randolph and the coach himself.
Coach, listen, it's unbelievable. And I'm going to leave you on Slim with this.
Okay.
Bronson Townsend was your defensive coordinator at Alabama A&M.
Know him well.
And Bronson Townsend said he had an issue with signing a player that was not the greatest in height, Robert Mathis. And the coach told him they ain't taking Robert Mathis. And Bronson Townsend said, well, you remember that kid that kicked our butt down the road at the University of North Alabama?
Okay.
Well, them two the same size and the same height.
That's a true story.
And they said, and Bronson said,
Bronski called him Be Righteous. Know him well. Hell of a coach, Bronski Towns. No, and I remember that story. And yes, you, Robert Mathis, about cut from the same cloth. Yeah, man. Yeah. Reg, listen, man. God bless you. God keep you, man. We're pulling and praying for you, and I know you're gonna get it done. Thanks,
absolutely,
man.
Coach.
Thanks,
absolutely.
Man. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Yes,
Pulling
sir.
for
All
you.
right.
Praying for you. All right. All right. Wow.
Man. Hey, didn't we have a Tuskegee Airman on my grandfather's on your side?
Man, you know what? We did. We did.
We
We
did.
did. And look, man, look, and I know Reg is still watching. I know Reg is still watching. And I came ready, Slim. I came ready, dog. Check me
Man,
out, player.
what?
Check me out, player. I ain't playing. I ain't playing, dog.
What?
I came ready. I came ready. I'm on Reggie, Slim. I'm gonna finish the show out like this.
Oh,
I
yeah.
came ready.
Oh, yeah, coach. That's what I'm talking about, man.
I came ready, dog.
That's what
I
I'm talking
came
about,
ready.
coach. That's what I'm talking. Which one was it though? Which one was it? Which one was it? Which one of John Montgomery's brother was the Tuskegee Airman?
Uncle Skin. Uncle Skin. Yep. My dad, the one,
Uncle Skin.
Uncle
Yep.
Skin. James
Uncle
Allen,
Skin.
no question, was a Tuskegee Airman. No question about it. Yeah. So now, without any further ado, it is with great pride that again I bring to you Slim's Pickens. Go ahead, bro.
Yes, sir. As the Pittsburgh Steelers go into the playoffs, let's honor an HBCU great, a 3-year member of the Steelers from 1980 through 1982. Inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame in 1996, Tyrone Keith Mcgriff, one of the greatest to ever don the orange and green of Florida A&M. Earning the title of Mr. Irrelevant, which denotes the last player taken in the 1980 NFL Draft, Tyrone Mcgriff was taken with the 333rd pick in the 12th round. Tyrone played in all 16 games of his rookie season, and in 1980, started in 10 games. A Rattler legend to be sure. The great Tyrone Mcgriff. And speaking of honoring, in a move that is long overdue, Grambling State University has announced that it will be naming its basketball court after its star alumnus and NBA legend, the great Willis Reed. The ceremony will take place Saturday, halftime, Saturday, January 15th, the Southern University Grambling State game. In addition, Grambling State will also be retiring his jersey. Selected with the 10th pick in the first round in the 1964 NBA draft by the New York Knicks, Willis Reed won Rookie of the Year, averaging 19.5 points and 14.7 rebounds per game. In 1970, Willis Reed was the first player in NBA history to win League MVP, All-Star MVP, and Finals MVP all in the same season. Bernice, Louisiana's own, the great Willis Reed. Stay tuned, sports fans. And that's Slim's Pickens.
Slim, Bernice, Louisiana. Takes me back to our days in Oklahoma City with members of Quail United Methodist Church, our organist and choir director, Sister Jessie Wesley, also
Shout out to Sissy Jessie.
Also a Gramblinite, would often tell me of her homeboy from Bernice, Louisiana, Willis Reed. Now, you know, Slim, when you leave Grambling, going back, if you want to leave Grambling and go to Poto, Oklahoma, you're going out US Highway 63 out the back way, and you're gonna go right through Bernice, Louisiana. Ain't nothing but a yellow light blinking. That's all it is, a yellow light blinking.
That yield, yeah.
And then you're going through a little old town, Fordyce, Arkansas.
Fordyce, Arkansas. Yes, sir.
The Fordyce Redbugs. Now, you know who's from Fordyce, Arkansas, don't you?
No, Coach, who?
The great Paul Bear Bryant. Yes, sir.
Word.
The great. The Bear.
Okay, now hold on, Coach. Now hold on. Now you do a pretty good Paul Bear Bryant impersonation, don't you?
We got them right where we want. They excited. We behind. They over there. They all fired up. All it takes is a little leadership. And we're going to get the ball back in the second half. We got to play good defense. And what we got to do on defense, we got to take the ball away. When we get the ball back, we got to take care of the football on offense. We need 11 men to do their job. Just do your job, and we're going to be all right. Now, all it takes a little leadership. Now we got class, and I know we got class. We're going to show.
Well, you sound more like Paul than the bear himself, Coach.
Let me tell you something. Jackie Sherrill would say that Bear Bryant is the greatest of all time, and you can make a strong argument on this case alone. The great Paul Bear Bryant won national championships in times of segregation, in times of integration. He won national championships with drop back passing quarterbacks, Steve Sloan, Joe Namath, Kenny the Snake Stabler. He won national championships running the triple option with Walter Lewis and Stedman Sheely. The great Paul Bear Bryant, and that's a strong case that the Bear is the greatest of all times.
Yeah, especially what Nick Saban is able to accomplish, Coach.
Yeah, but you got to counter what the Bear did as well.
Now, speaking of Alabama, that chop up that national championship for us. Oh, by the way, I said Georgia was going to win, though. But come on.
You call that one correct, Slim, and I tip my hat to Kirby Smart and his staff. They on winning the national championship. Haven't done it since 1980. Right quick. When Alabama, they first lost John Mitchell in the SEC championship game, come back and lose Jameson Williams in the before the half of the national championship game. That changed the whole dynamic of the Alabama offensive attack. Number one. Number two, that cornerback number 6 from Alabama, good player, young player. And when that wide out from Georgia made that double move and he went by him like a freight train past the hobo, you saw what Todd Monken, Kirby Smart called upstairs and said, hey, that's the wounded gazelle. Let's go after him. And they hit the big touchdown pass in the corner of the end zone. Slim, it could have been worse. It could have been worse.
What you're saying, Coach?
But kudos, Alabama could not overcome the injuries that they had to beat a team that led wire to wire from start to finish. Now this wasn't Oklahoma State they were playing now. No, this was the University of Georgia. This wasn't NC State or North Carolina. This is big time football.
Now, Coach, Georgia did manage to force 2 interceptions from Bryce Young, something they were not able to do in the national championship.
And you've got to give them
championship game.
You've got to give them credit for that. You've got to give them credit for that. And again, Georgia was a good football team, and Alabama just couldn't set the injuries that Alabama sustained. They couldn't overcome that. They just couldn't. And so I'll tell you what, I was so happy for David Metcalf.
Shout out to Coach Metcalf.
David Metcalf, who was a GA for us at Texas Southern. You were part of that team, Mildred. Yep. David Metcalf, a GA analyst on that national championship staff with Kirby Smart. Proud of you, David. Happy for you. So let me ask you something. Let me ask you this, though. You watched the game. I watched the game. Who was the single most dominant player on the field? I get it. Georgia won. Who's the single most dominant player on the field that day?
Number 31, Will Anderson, Coach.
Thank you.
Alabama.
So let me ask you something. Will Anderson is a true sophomore. Okay? First team All-American. 6'4", 240 pounds. Okay? The best defensive player in college football and arguably the best player in college football last season. Okay? Can run like the wind blows, hit you like lightning struck a stump, and strong as a wild ox fart. So let me ask you this.
All right.
If you're his mom and dad, do you advise him to come back and play his junior year?
If it came down with a meeting with Coach Nick Saban, and like we said in our meetings, Coach, like we said in our meetings before, I would tell him, I'm like, kid, there's nothing more you need to come back and get your education. We believe in that.
Thank you.
son, you have nothing more to prove on a college football field than you have already done in your past season. The next time you need to step on a football field is on Sundays.
Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely. My sentiments exactly. And I'm telling you right now, don't be surprised, because I'll give you a name, Slim. I'll give you a name. Joey Bosa.
Yes, sir.
And we're gonna be watching Joey Bosa a little later on this evening. Mm-hmm. And Joey Bosa at Ohio State did not play his junior year. Okay, I think he had an abdominal injury.
He had an ab injury. Yes,
and after he had that surgery to fix that, he said, "Deuces, I ain't playing no more."
Yep.
Yeah, and this kid's in that class. It might even be better. No question about it. No question.
Now, Coach, this transfer portal talk, like Coach Ruffin said, at Tuskegee is heating up all over the country. Though, Caleb Williams is no longer Oklahoma City Sooner.
Mm-hmm.
OU Sooner. Mm-hmm. He's now going to the West Coast. Mm-hmm. Lincoln Riley.
Yep. Took the picture in social media. You saw him with his number 13 jersey. Yeah. He was number 13 at the University of Oklahoma. He's posing in a number 13 USC jersey. I understand this. Let's not get this thing twisted. Caleb Williams, Washington, D.C., Gonzaga High School. Great player. Probably the number one quarterback in the country coming out. He comes from Washington, D.C., Gonzaga High School, all the way to Norman, Oklahoma for one reason. Lincoln Riley. Okay?
Lincoln certainly Riley. Wasn't the agriculture.
Say what?
It certainly wasn't the agriculture, Coach.
No. Listen, he comes to Norman, Oklahoma for Lincoln Riley. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, the University of Oklahoma can boast 4 Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks. Jason White, Sam Bradford,
Baker Mayfield, and Kyler Murray.
Bingo. Now understand this. 2 of them coached by
Lincoln Riley.
Thank you. Now you also got to throw this other guy in the equation, and he's holding sway right now against Tampa Bay, a fellow by the name of Jalen Hurts. And yes, Jalen Hurts owes his NFL career to
Lincoln Riley.
Thank you.
Lincoln Riley. Yeah.
Listen, and this is a fact. If you're coached by Lincoln Riley at the University of Oklahoma, you go into the Heisman Trophy banquet. Okay? And go win it. Okay? Baker Mayfield. And oh, by the way, the first player taken in the draft. Kyler Murray, Heisman Trophy. And oh, by the way, first player taken in the draft. And Jalen Hurts got Oklahoma to the CFP and got to the Heisman Trophy banquet in New York City.
And got the invite, Coach.
Yeah. And got the invite. So now, you're Caleb Williams, and the man who did all this is gone? Newsflash. What the hell you think I'm going to do? Get real. Hold up. Wait a minute. And oh, by the way, USC, an iconic program that can boast Heisman Trophy winning quarterback Carson Palmer, Heisman Trophy winning quarterback Matt Leinart.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. Now, if you're Caleb Williams, you can take Hollywood, Sunset Boulevard, Venice Beach, or
Lake Hefner.
Or Lake Hefner. Please. Or Lake Hefner. Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, you do the math on that. No question.
Yeah, Coach.
Yeah.
Now, pro football, Coach.
All right, buddy.
12 teams started the playoffs in earnest. The Raiders already got eliminated by the Bengals, but at the start, there were 6 teams that if you look it up, there were 6 teams led by high school Texas players.
Quarterbacks.
12
teams in the tournament. 6 of them trained, nurtured in Texas high school football. So that's phenomenal. Run that list down.
All right, so Coach, we got
Carr.
We got
Carr at the Raiders.
You got Derek Carr. Matthew Stafford.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
Ryan Tannehill,
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes,
Okay. White
and
House,
then
Texas.
and then of course Kyler Murray.
Allen, Dallas Metroplex. That's 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matthew Stafford, Highland Park. That's Dallas Metroplex. That's 6 of them. 6 of the 12 teams in this tournament that started yesterday. 6 of them. That's phenomenal. That speaks to the quality of Texas high school football. No question about it. Yeah, man. Speaking of Baker Mayfield, Slim.
Now Andrew Berry. And speaking of Baker Mayfield, Coach, Andrew Berry says that Baker Mayfield is our guy for the 2022 football season. Do you believe that?
Slim, not regular now, but hell to the now. Hell to the now.
To the no. Yeah, to the no.
I'm gonna tell you what. Understand this. He's a victim. Baker Mayfield is a victim of false expectations. He had no business being taken with the first pick in the NFL draft. No way, no how. Okay? Understand that first and foremost. The second thing, I want to make this perfectly clear. Yes, you can win with Baker Mayfield. You can win with Baker Mayfield. You will never win because of Baker Mayfield. Okay?
Ooh, big difference, Coach. Big difference.
Listen, Buffalo is going to win because of Josh Allen.
Yep.
The Baltimore Ravens are going to win because of Lamar Jackson. Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay wins because of Aaron Rodgers. Tampa Bay wins because of Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
And Baker Mayfield ain't near about in that class, homeboy. Not near about. No question.
Hit you with another question, Coach.
All right.
Is Carson Wentz going to be the starting quarterback for the Colts in the 2022 football season?
Hell no.
He might be. But if he is and they fail, Frank Reich is going down in the same boat as that they both gonna go down on the Titanic of the Baltimore. Because let me tell you something now, for the same thing that we just talked about with Baker Mayfield. Carson Wentz and the Baltimore and the Indianapolis Colts are sitting at home because of Carson Wentz.
Hell no.
Yeah.
That's exactly why they're sitting at home. And Frank Reich cast his lot on Carson Wentz. He was the one that put his career on the line and said, "Give me Carson Wentz." Well, okay, buddy. Okay, be careful what you ask for, because let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. If he and my personal prediction, I say no on that one too, because I'm gonna tell you something, partner. The Colts are staying at home. No question about it, because of Carson Wentz.
I'm talking about 2 times, Coach. You had an opportunity to go to the playoffs twice.
He makes the throw to Ty Hilton down the sideline. They in the playoffs in the Raider game. Come back last Sunday, Slim, against a team with 2 wins. A team that's 2-14.
That knows they're gonna get the first player taken in this coming draft, Coach.
Preach, Reverend. Preach, Reverend. Preach. And that boy peed right down the side of his leg in front of God and everybody. And he's the very reason that as we speak, the Indianapolis Colts are sitting at home.
Hell no.
So now you go with him again, Frank Reich. Just understand this, partner. Okay? If it don't happen for you,
with that turd,
you are staying at home because of him. But man, listen, Slim, boy.
Hold on, Coach. Hold on.
All right,
got one more topic. In a league that's over 70% African American, Mike Tomlin stands alone as the single black head football coach in the National Football League. Chop that up for me real quick.
Well, Slim, I tell you what, I love what Troy Vincent said. And Troy Vincent made it very clear, first part of the week, that there's a double standard in the National Football League. Now, this is one of the highest ranked, probably the highest ranking African American official in the National Football League front office. And he said it's a double standard. And it is, Slim. It is. But we understand that, and that's life. I'll tell you a quick little story before we get out of here. I'm a kid, 17 years old, my senior year at Poto High School, Poto Pirates. And I'm starting linebacker on the defense, but I was starting, but I wasn't getting all the playing time. And I knew I could play. No, I wasn't Dick Butkus. I wasn't Lawrence Taylor, but I knew I was good enough to get a scholarship, and I did get a scholarship. My mom and daddy did not have to pay for my way to school. But one night I was so depressed, I was sitting in my room and I was sobbing. And my daddy come around the corner and he heard me. And he stood there in the doorway and watched me sitting at my desk. And he said, "Boy, what's wrong with you?" I looked up at it, big tears rolling down my cheeks. I said, Dad, I'm better than Kip Klutz. Daddy, I'm better than Kip Klutz, and I got me alternating. Daddy, I'm better than Kip Klutz. Daddy looked at me and said, "Boy, you straighten your face up right now. You hear me? You straighten your face up right now." He said, "Yeah, I've been to practice and I've been to the games. You better than Kip Klutz. You ain't way better than Kip Klutz. Now you better understand something, Slim. Ain't nothing changed. Troy Vincent talked about it. It's a double standard, okay? It's a double standard. And the National Football League, they got to come to the witness stand and account for this, because there'll be no justice. Justice. It's
what Richard Pryor said, Coach.
It's just us.
Just us. Man, you don't believe us? You don't believe us? Just ask Brian Flores after back-to-back winning seasons at Miami Dolphins.
Listen, the man got a 4-2 record against Bill Belichick in his own.
How many coaches can say that?
Thank you. No question.
Coach,
no question.
Pleasure being in the studio with you again, man. I can't believe you got us Reggie Ruffin, bro. That was crazy. I'm gonna let you go ahead and get on with it, man. Tell Mom I love her, all right?
I will, man. Give my love to everybody in Oklahoma City. Peace and blessings.
Coach, you know it. See you, all right?
Take care, buddy. Take care. And finally, Micah, chapter 6 and verse 8. "And what doth the Lord require of thee, O man, but to do justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with God." You don't need no Rooney Rule to know what's right. Jim Caldwell, in 3 winning seasons of his 4-year run, had a winning percentage of .563. Okay. In 18 years since Jim Caldwell, 1996 to 2013, and behind him from 2018 to 2021, the Detroit Lions have yet to amass Jim Caldwell's win total. Took the Detroit Lions to the playoffs twice. The Detroit Lions can't find the playoffs right now with GPS. Lovie Smith, in his 9-year run of head coach of the Chicago Bears, Coach of the Year once, 3 NFL playoff appearances, and also a winning percentage of .563. Both of these men over 500. And it's a sad narrative as to what's going on currently in the NFL with African-American hiring. And what it's basically saying is run, black man, run. Jump, black man, jump. Tackle, black man, tackle. Sack the quarterback. Be our entertainment. And oh, by the way, we'll do all the thinking. And hey, that's how I see it. 6 o'clock, straight up and down.
Ooh, Coach, you done got after him with that one now. But hey, look, that's how we see it, and that's how it is. Thank God we get to do this again.
Thank God.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for tuning into this week's episode of HomeSpun Sports. Sports talk with a twist of down home wisdom. Shout out again to Coach Reggie Ruffin for doing this bit for us. We appreciate you so much for being our special guest on episode 21 of Homespun Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, do not forget you can catch this premium content not only on YouTube, but it is also available on iHeartRadio and Spotify for your viewing and listening pleasure. Listen, shout out to Coach Eric Bieniemy, Todd Bowles, Leslie Frazier, Vance Joseph, Brian Leftwich, Raheem Morris, and D'Amico Ryans. This is for you, gentlemen, hoping that you guys have better futures in the
We're pulling for you, praying for you.
Hey, Coach, let me get that Paul Bear Bryant again, Coach. Let me get it one more time.
We got class. No, we got class. We gonna show it. Listen, rest in paradise to the great NFL Hall of Famer Don Maynard.
Yes, sir.
Hell of a player, hell of a man.
Yes, sir.
Slim, let's get on up out of here, man, like we came.
Ain't said nothing but a word, Coach. What
he said.